Good morning. Right, well today I'm going to be replanting and repositioning some of the Bergenia that I dug out of the back border there. I'll show you. So I'm going to put a greenhouse up in this area, and I dug all of that out. It was very overgrown. So that area is going to be paved in this lovely stone, hopefully. And then I'm going to put a greenhouse in this very tiny area. So I dug all of the plants out. I got rid of what I didn't want. And then I've put the plants that I do love and want to keep in big trugs of water. So they've been here for 2 days now. And one of the plants that I want to concentrate on today is I dug out this lovely big clump of Bergenia. And I've moved Bergenia numerous times. You don't have to wait until the autumn or do it in the spring. You know, I can't wait that long. We've got very definite sections. You get these long sort of gnarly rhizomes with the leaves coming out, and then at the bottom you get a root system. And what I do is I tend to just snap them up where there's a sort of natural join. So let's see if I can do it here. They're really tough plants, and I've never moved them and then lost one. So there, I've got a nice little clump. You just cut any dead leaves off, because I don't know whether they do in your garden, but they do tend to go, the leaves get a bit gnarly in mine. And in this one, because I want to take all the stress off the roots, I'm going to cut that big leaf off, which is discoloured anyway. You're not doing any harm moving Bergenia this time of year. So this is July, because these are spring flowering plants. So that's a lovely clump with new leaves and that, but very few. So what you do is I'm going to show you, you replant it and you leave this bit near the top and the roots go under the soil. And then this bit here is attached to a main stem there. But as you can see, all of the plants have grown away from there. And what happens as your plants age, your perennial plants age, the middle, the crown of the plant usually dies off, and you get all the lush foliage at the edges. So actually this is going to do this the world of good. This poor Bergenia, I didn't even see it flower this year, because if you watch the video where I'm digging out this border, it was so overgrown that this poor plant's been struggling for light. So there we go. And what that is. So again, I'm just going to cut off the discoloured leaves there, and I'm going to, you see it's got lovely long roots, that bit, so that's great. And this is how you can just bulk up your garden. Oops. Right, so I've got some roots there and I've got some roots there. So if I lie this in the soil, all those roots will go down and cut off the big leaves so that it doesn't expend any of its energy trying to keep those leaves alive, because you're not bothered about them. I'm hiding in the shade here because it's extremely hot and sunny in the main garden. So I've got plenty Factor 50 suntan lotion on. Right, so I've got a big clump of roots there. But you know what, I'm not going to replant that, because if you have a look, all those stumps in the middle, they haven't done anything. I haven't cut anything off. That is dead, it's stopped producing. So there's no benefit to me replanting that bowl. I think the plants will do better if I snap them off and just rejuvenate them. So that one's got some roots at its base there, and as soon as you damage the roots on your plants, they'll, if you give them the right conditions, they'll start rejuvenating themselves. So I've had a look on the RHS website, and it says that begonias will grow in sun or shade as long as they're in a humus-rich soil with good drainage. So, so right, there's another one. I've already been around the garden and I've identified 2 spots where I'm going to plant this, because my garden is full, you'll see. So I can be very generous with my planting, and by next year I'll have 2 really new, well-established looking sections of begonia. I'm going to snap this one off here. Actually, I'll cut it with my secateurs if I can. There we go. And all I've got root-wise for this big plant here is this tiny little section of root. So take the big leaves off. Taking this right down. I've got a new shoot coming up there. And then I'm just leaving 2 leaves. And then this bit here, that's all I've got left. That's just dead. Just going to try and snap a bit of this off and get some root with it. Oh, lovely. He's the smallest piece and he's got the biggest root. So yeah, great. Oh, and I found a piece there. Right, this will be a test, because this one hasn't actually got any root coming down. So I'm just going to take the big leaf off and give him a chance. May as well. Right, so that's the rubbish on the compost. And what I've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lovely pieces of begonia. And if your garden isn't full and you love this plant, you would have, by next year, if you plant these all out separately in 7 different places, you'd have clumps of begonia, and all you have to do is go to a garden centre and have a look and see how much they're charging for a 9 centimetre pot of begonia. It would cost you a fortune. Yes, so if you want to bulk up the plants in your garden, split them. It'll do them good. And you can get that repetition of colour and texture throughout your garden. It sort of links all the different parts of your garden together. You'll save a fortune, and they might not look the way you want them to look this year, but if you get them in now, they've got all the rest of the summer into winter to make a nice root ball. So I actually think it's better planting them now than late autumn, because the soil's nice and warm. You've just got the soil's warmer for longer. So we're going to go into the main garden now. I've already identified where I'm going to put these, and I'm going to plant them out. Right, so I'll take you through into the main garden. I'll try to walk nice and steadily so the camera doesn't shake all over the place. This is my little shady courtyard. I'll put a link to the video where I sort of play around with the plants in here, and then out into the main garden. Right, so just a coming out into the main garden now, I'll just show you this lovely clematis. So this year I actually got him pinned up to the trellis. Last year he just sort of romped through this border. This was the original clump of Bergenia that I had, just a tiny piece. I think my sister gave it to me, and I've split him. So in the spring this is a carpet of pink flowers, and then I split him. I've got some more there. So we'll just make our way down the garden. These are the window boxes that I planted out. Again, there's a video on how I planted those out. Lovely hydrangea. The beautiful monarda that's in flower, and it looks gorgeous, doesn't it, with the yellow loose stripe. This is what I call my Fraggle Rock plant. Reminds me of the characters of Fraggle Rock. I always like to try and give you an update on what's flowering in the garden. This is a beautiful astrantia. Isn't he lovely? Towards the gate, I'll just show you I can't help filming them. They're so lovely. So this is a beautiful pink rose. This is a gorgeous, very tall geranium. And then this is my wild rover rose that's just flowered. I got him last year. Right, so this is the point near the front gate that I've identified where I can have a bit of Bergenia here. So this leaf here is a lovely deep red geum, and that clump there is the tall orange geum that I split just last week. So there's a video out on that, splitting the geum. He was also growing in that back border with the Bergenia. So this part here, that's Shasta Daisy. I'll dig him out. I think I'll leave the wallflower, dig the weeds out here. So I've got this little sort of trough running through here, and that's where I'm going to plant the first piece of Bergenia. Right, so get these weeds out. It's a good opportunity to get some weeding done, some micromanagement of your borders when you put new plants in. I quite like working on very small areas at a time when you haven't got much time. It's amazing the difference it makes, and it really motivates me to, I think, oh God, I got that done in 10 minutes. Move on, do another piece. Right, so I love this geum, he's going to stay. Right, dig this Shasta Daisy out, because that's everywhere. I don't want to disrupt this area too much. Get that bit of ivy out there. Right, just break your soil up. Right, now I'm going to lie these bits on, just position them to see what looks good. It's that bit there, tiny little bit in the middle, and a bit there, maybe coming down that way, and a piece maybe there. Yeah, like that, which has left me with 2 bits. Actually, I'm going to keep 3 bits for the front border. So all you do now is dig a little trench, just as you would if you were putting a bearded iris in. Dig a little trench. He's got long roots at the end, so I'm going to dig a bit deeper there. for his roots to go down, and then fill him in so he's completely lying on the soil. There's no air underneath him. Dig this bit out. He's got a really good root ball on him. And if you just find you haven't got time, you need to dig a plant out, but you haven't got time to work out where you want it, or not much time at all to get it planted, I would say just get it in some soil for this year, because it'll keep the roots alive. Far better than just say, oh, I haven't got time, and throw them in the bin or the compost pile. That's it. And then the last bit, dig that trench there. He's got a nice big root ball there, so I'm going to dig a bit deeper here at the front, like that, and then make sure you fill them in. And these are going to be so much happier. This is an early flowering geranium. I can cut him back a bit and it'll get more light through to this plant, right? And that is as easy as it is. He'll fill out that area there. So I've got a watering can of rainwater, and I'm going to soak this area here. Right the way back there. Because this GM here will spill out here. It'll fill that area in, I know it will. And this is lovely. I think it'll spill over the wall. So, isn't that lovely? Right, the next area where I'm going to plant a bit is here on the corner, just as you go in the front gate there. Aren't those oxeye daisies beautiful? Gorgeous. Right, so I've got a new lavender planted there. He'll grow big. I love this border. That's a bit Bergenia there, actually a big clump, which you can see more when these oxeye daisies are standing up. So yes, I can have another piece there, and oh, you know what? I think I'm going to put a bit here. Right, so again, this is front of border. Take your weeds out. Dig a nice big hole for him because he's got a nice big clump there. Loads of bulbs in here. Put him in there. That piece in there. And that. It's lovely rich soil here, because I filled it up with my homemade compost last year, and that one there. Yeah, nice little clump there. So that's it for today. I hope you found the video helpful. What I would say is don't be frightened of moving your plants during the summer. Just get them up, get them in wherever you can. If you haven't decided where you want to put them yet, just get them into some soil. They'll make roots this year, and then either later on this year or next year, you might think, actually, I want it in a different place, and you can just dig them up and move them again. So until next time, take care. Bye.